We're going to describe the plot of Mother.
Exclamation point.
Just feel it. Feel it, man.
Motherfucker, I bring that shit back like I was a tic-tac, tic-tac. Gonna get it all the time. Gotta bring the fat noise with the boys, and I rejoice like the 4th of July fireworks. And I'm gonna make a bitch do it till she twerk out, work out. Gotta get my smirk out, cause I'm jerking off in a movie theater with the popcorn on the butter. Looking at your best friend, I'm gonna nutter butter, cause I eat the snacks real quickly. Everybody looking at me, damn, that's Dickley. Danny Levy's got the big dome. What's he gonna do? Go to Hong Kong. They'll say, oh my god, is that Danny? Nah, it's King Kong's dick, motherfucker. Ooh, I'd use it to knock down buildings like a sledgehammer penis. Don't you mean this? I got the meanest, greenest penis in the land. I'm going to Hulk stand on top of your daughter. No, she's 24 years old. This is consensual sex. Consensual sex. Wow. Almost unusable.
Whirlwind.
That was the idea, but clearly that's what happens.
Whirlwind
I enjoyed it.
adventure.
Which is what matters a little bit. That's how I judge. Like
I jumped to adult daughter, like a CPA if she's out of the house.
Yeah, but still.
I also jumped to CPA.
Yeah.
Straight to CPA.
Give us a story, Danny.
Okay. A man discovers that he can fly, wants to become a superhero.
What's his job?
Pilot.
That's kind of funny.
Or
That's good. He's
Yeah.
a pilot who discovers he can actually fly.
wait,
If there is a
never tried before.
1 second pilot.
Could it be that there's a plane crash and he like
Well,
falls out of
he's
the
such
plane?
a good pilot. He knows how to fly.
he's
He's
been
learned
flying
the rules
for-
of aerodynamics.
So he's just studied the theory
Yeah.
so hard that he has the ability.
He's just been looking at the wing and putting his hand out and trying to morph his hand.
And then he just
into the-
rockets through the ceiling of the aircraft.
just gets lift. I was thinking if the plane crashes, he falls out of the plane.
I like that he's flying upright with just his one arm out, getting the perfect foil of the wing down.
He just does that.
Yeah, if he can lose altitude if his hand isn't cupped right.
Yeah.
Is this after like a career of being a pilot?
And how fast can he fly?
Slower than an airplane.
Well, I think it should be like the progression should be like the Wright brothers. Like when he first learns how to fly,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
So he's
lame.
just kind of skipping
And then
over
at
the
the
ground.
end, he's just fucking rocketing it.
And it could be one of those situations where like the government like is onto him, or they want to like do tests on him because they want to weaponize him.
Ooh, I like that. But he just wants to use it to bring people around.
Exactly.
So he has a rideshare app where he can climb on his shoulders.
It's like Uber, but
he
for
just
jets.
wants to make a buck.
He just wants to make like literally
Wait, how much-
$2 a mile.
Yeah, that's it. They can go so many miles.
Okay, so he discovers he's a pilot. He discovers that he can fly, and then we know at the end of the movie he's
become a
good at
superhero.
flying.
It's
He's
not.
extremely good.
He's good. Good at flying also could be literally the name of the movie,
All right.
because the good just means that he is using his flight powers for good in this case, which is a really hilariously bad movie title, if that's what it is.
Good at flying. Tagline: The fasten seatbelts are off. Come in August.
He'll save your life.
Does he?
So he does want to
He
be a
wants to-
superhero.
He does
Okay.
want to be a superhero. Maybe he has like a dickhead dad that is his, I guess, a grandfather too, if he's like in his 40s.
Mhm.
And he just like, we could make a lot of money off of you, and like tries to like.
But that would be him discovering flight when he was young.
That's true. So maybe
Maybe he did,
his
and
spouse.
his dad suppressed it.
I like that he's so talented as a pilot that he can fly, though. I like that idea.
I do too.
He thinks his way into it.
I love the idea that it's where like he
Maybe
discovers
we
it, like it's
hint at it early on.
I like
He jumps off the swing and just gets a little bit of hang time.
yeah, there's a little the little montage of it, but I like that it's like he doesn't like intend to learn how to fly. Like it's not like him as a pilot being like, you know what, I think I could do that. It's just like
Well, he falls out of the airplane.
he's been flying for so long, and then he's just
Trying
like,
to
wait, I know
visualize
how
it.
to do it.
Wait a minute. I
can,
got this.
I can do this on my own.
Like he just has a revelation. He goes from
He's like, fuck you
that's
people."
crazy. What are you talking about? To I can do this in like an instant.
Just one.
He's just like, wait a minute, I have it.
that
And
plane's crashing.
What is the
Wait a
moment
minute,
where he
that's the plane I
discovers
fly.
that he can fly? He can fall out of the airplane. He could just be like montage of him running and jumping off a mound.
He could be on a date.
He could be on a date with a bird.
An ostrich. Bet you can't
Could
fly.
be a
What if-
flightless bird.
Yeah.
What if he's on a layover?
He only dates.
He's on a date with an ostrich, and to show off,
he jokes.
starts to fly,
So he's just a dick.
and that's at the beginning of the story.
Cold open.
Cold open. Man, seated, interior, across from ostrich.
Flirty dialogue.
At dinner table.
Squawking.
He's flirting. The ostrich is squawking.
Squawking back.
But sexually. Like,
Yes.
it's a sexual squawk.
You can
Absolutely.
tell. You can tell.
Who's his enemy? The opposite of flight
The
is
FAA.
a mole.
Underground mole man, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Who works for the FAA.
So yes.
He just wants to keep people on and in the ground.
Yeah. No, he's I guess I don't know exactly how we could make this work, but I want to throw it out there. But he wants to turn the world into an underground network of tunnels and never allow flight to ever happen again.
I'm
I like
picturing
that
it like
he's
a
like-
monster. Like he's just like
See,
a mole
I'm,
man.
I'm picturing that he's someone good-hearted who believes in their job at the FAA,
Mm.
and he's also a mole man who lives underground and has a cavern with his wife and
And he tunnels
kids
out.
in it that are moles.
Yeah, yeah.
Does he go up into the tower? That doesn't seem very mole.
Air traffic
Doesn't
control.
seem very
Very
mole.
mole. Maybe
Moles are
Well,
scared of
he's,
heights.
he's
Maybe-
scared of flight because he's a mole.
Maybe government legislation has allowed his disability of being underground all the time. They've allowed for this, and he works from
Which
home.
is called
Allogrove.
Groundlosplasia.
Subgrovelovian. Rendensory.
and his name is
Alvis.
Quems.
No, Alvis is a
Alice Quems,
Alvis
the
Quems.
mole man.
No.
The mole man.
Can we try the first name one more time?
Oh, I like Alvis.
What about Spork?
That's also good. Alvis Spork Quems. That's almost a sentence. Alvis Spork Quems.
Elvis, stop sporking Quems.
Don't spork. You're sporking all over the table.
Are the Quems the tines of
It
a
has an
spork?
exclamation mark
I
at
don't
the
know
end of
if
his
you
name,
said-
by the way. It's like the
I
title
don't know if that
Jeopardy,
was
but
the
for a
sentence.
name.
But Alvis Spark Quems.
Spork Quems.
Spork Quems.
Exclamation point
Yeah.
on his taxes. Okay, so he
And there's
works
an
for the
Enya
FAA.
just somewhere in there.
And Toby, did you want to
That's,
add to this character? You wanted to make him more evil?
No, I don't think he needs to be evil, but I think he should look a little monstrous.
I
Oh, he
he's a-
looks like a mole man.
Yeah, like he's a grotesque mole man.
How about?
But he's
Yeah.
mild mannered
And he's
and civil.
this
but
is
has
how,
a rational idea.
This is
Yeah.
how much of a mole man he is. He's married to a wife, full mole. He's married to a mole.
Full mole.
Their kid's 3/4 mole because
Quarter mole
he's
kids.
half mole, right?
Yeah, so it's really obvious. And there's a percent, like a pie chart
He's
above all of
mixed.
the children's heads that show how much percentage you are
Like The
man
Sims?
and how much percentage you are mole. Excuse me.
Man and mole.
Yeah, you can see by the chart above my child's head that it is 75% mole.
And so he wants to stop our hero from saving the day because it's unsafe to be flying erratically and not telling people where you're going to go. Is that what the FAA does?
It's just like, yeah.
You're kind of you're on your way to be that expert.
It's
here.
monitoring and like making sure that aircrafts land and take off in sequence safely.
Yeah.
Right.
And don't fly over places that have people or government stuff.
I think,
Or so they want you to believe,
I think
Jordan.
the point we realize this antagonist is evil is that his mole wife and mole kids are in danger, and our hero can go save them, but our antagonist, the mole man, Alvis Sport Quems, is so into the rules and regulations of the FAA that he stops our hero from
He's just good at
flying.
his job. He's not even really a
So-
villain.
Because
Yeah.
he's such a bureaucrat.
He's like, you didn't license this activity.
Oh, okay, so he's like a principal.
Yeah.
But the FAA version.
Like, you got to get the paperwork for like experimental flight. Come on, you can't just do this over Cincinnati.
No way.
Not in my mole town.
Can we get what's an event where his family could be in danger that our hero
So
could
he
fly
lets-
to and save?
He lets his family die because of the FAA
Because he's
rules.
yeah, because he believes in it. He hates flight.
Hates flight.
He lives underground in fear of open air.
All right, so this movie clearly takes place in Seattle. His wife and kids get stuck at the top of the Space Needle.
You can do Space Needle. That sounds good.
No,
Have
better.
we done Space Needle before?
There's
I think we did Space Needle.
It's already Space Needle.
Eiffel
Okay.
Tower.
And I
One
think
World
maybe
Trade Center.
Maybe he
Sears.
uses them as
that has
bait
a funky
to
relationship
catch,
with planes, though.
maybe our hero with the heart of gold. He uses I picture
Sears
a big
Tower.
net in the sky.
Chicago.
Mm.
Well, so you know, it could be like, okay, yeah, Sears Tower in Chicago. To get more people to go for tourism purposes, they have a giant slingshot at the top of the Sears Tower, and they
Just slingshot you out over the lake.
they slingshot you as far as they can get you over the lake, and they have like a couple boats in the lake with
Just
those.
in the middle of the lake, the net between them.
It's like those, like the things that catch like human cannonballs.
There's like brochures for this.
Yeah, but
With smiling families being flung out over the water.
so the mole man lets his family die.
I think the climax for
Maybe-
this is so our mole man has a mole hill, right? Where all of his evil plans are orchestrated.
This actually makes the most sense for it to take place in the Midwest because there's not many mountains out there.
Because there isn't?
Yeah, there's not many mountains in the Midwest.
That's
It's mostly
kind of
hills.
poetic.
That is kind of poetic.
Anyway, I think our
That could be
hero.
that's
I'm
the name of
picturing
Shel
the
Silverstein
climax
with that.
because I
There's
need
not
to,
many mountains in the
we need to
Midwest.
lock down certain events so we can piece them together. I think climax is our hero. There's a mole hill that's his lair. In the end, our hero sacrifices himself, or maybe sacrifices himself, and he flies into it, a la Star Wars Death Star,
Ooh.
blowing it up. I want to see him flying underground. You know,
Yeah.
He's so advanced that he goes underground. But I kind of see him as the like missile in that famous scene that we all love so much from Star Wars.
I think I can get us there. So Mole Man family, or the Quems family,
Yeah, Quems.
The Quems.
the Quems.
The Quems. Christmas with the Quems.
So
That's the name of the
our
movie.
pilot, Christmas with the Quems. Our pilot is getting famous. He's becoming a hero, right? Just like he always dreamed. And Mole Man is fighting tooth and claw to get him out of the air. But he's got a teenager. He's got a teenager quarter mole person living in his
Oh.
house. And that person...
3/4.
No, this is a quarter mole.
Quarter mole.
He's adopted. Adopted son.
Half mole.
Half mole because
Half mole. Because mom's
Because-
full mole.
No. Yeah, it's
yeah, because the mom, a mole, cheated on the dad, a half mole, half human, and she fucked
a
a
human.
dude.
Just a dude. So he's half mole.
Yeah, she fucked.
He's the only half mole one.
Yeah, so he's
And
half.
It's pretty clear.
And he, like, yeah, he's like,
His name's Kyle.
he's like 4 feet taller than the whole family. He's stooping in the mound.
Kind of just likes to be outside.
And he idolizes this pilot. He's a superhero who flies through the air, and he loves that. So he tries to follow in his footsteps, and he tries to fly by jumping off his molehill.
These are confusing
But he falls
people.
straight into the pit, and our hero has to save him.
Oh, I thought he
His
was
son.
going to kill himself, and then the antagonist was going to be like, I
Did
fucking
we want to go
hate
that
you.
dark with Christmas with the Clems?
That's not what it is.
Is that an inciting incident that causes the hatred, or the reason that it resolves? Because I was thinking that that's how we could resolve it.
But they have to, so they, happy ending?
Yeah, it's sort of happy ending. Like, the mole man realizes, like, okay, family's what's important, even though this kid isn't mine at all. Like, I still love him.
We
and
could do
I want him to be happy.
we could do a heartfelt story where Mole Man is set up to hate this guy, because of all the aforementioned facts about them, but then also his kid loves this guy and he wants like attention he wants his kid to idolize
Right,
him.
he's trying to bond with this kid who's
Yeah.
distancing
And so
himself
he's
from
like,
the
that's
family.
not cool. He's being unsafe. It's illegal
Yeah.
to be a superhero.
Maybe at the end he does his paperwork
Yeah.
so that he can be a flying man.
I think
That
in
could
the
be it.
end,
he gets notarized.
I think
Yeah.
that's an interesting clip. So I think actually the Mole Man is becoming our hero, but I think that
a little bit.
by the end, he becomes a superhero.
Maybe they
Ooh.
tag team.
Oh, at the end, he's not Alvis. His whole life, he's been Alvis Sport Quems.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, he's Mole Man.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, he becomes a superhero.
Like, we don't touch on the fact that
shit.
they live underground and look like moles.
Yeah.
And then he becomes Mole Man at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
oh, God. Yeah, of course.
You're like an
And then-
alien.
and
Yeah,
then-
you're like a monster person.
And then it's like an Avengers universe style thing where like Mole Man is the first Avenger.
Mole Man, the first
That's
Avenger.
another good name.
Mole Man, the first Avenger. So but for 3/4 of the movie, you think that it's about the flying man.
Yeah,
Like-
so that means
But really,
somewhere
the
in here,
movie,
actual aliens have to invade, and then they have to join together to stop them.
Mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel? Am I right?
Sounds like something. Maybe that's California.
No.
Somewhere in California. No.
No.
I don't know.
Gavin Newsom, California.
Yeah, that's the guy.
I think it was Rahm Emanuel. Anyways, Mayor of Chicago has been communicating with aliens on a way to boost the Chicago economy.
Okay.
They provide the funding for the Sears Tower slingshot.
It's alien money.
Yeah. And so what
It's just goop.
And so, but the thing is, this is what it's. So it's so powerful. It's slinging people into space, and it's then like they get captured in a different alien stuntman catching them. Not wood chippered, but they're getting captured and then sold into the space trade, like the space slave trade.
So there's
I missed all of that. Can you sum it up in one sentence?
Mayor of Chicago is working with aliens
no, you can't.
to create a slingshot from the Sears Tower that he says is just a tourist thing.
I think is Southwest
All right.
a notoriously bad airline?
No,
They're fine. I
United.
think it's just
Delta.
their boarding
United.
process that people don't like. but they're fine.
United. I think United is like.
I
the
don't
bad
Can
like
we-
United. United is garbage.
Yeah.
There we go. So it's United.
Garbage
United
airline.
Airlines.
Can we
yes.
fit United into whatever the fuck you were just talking about as like the penultimate bad guy?
Okay, but then that would just be. I was thinking like intergalactic space, like
Planetary.
slave trade.
Yeah.
but I don't want to have it.
But we
just
got to
be an
weave
Earth
that into
slave
the
trade.
story.
So yeah.
United
so
Airlines is aliens.
No. Okay. So the Chicago mayor is
That works.
slingshotting people into United Airlines.
We're gonna do
They're
what?
powering their civilization by the people in their small ass
Hold up.
seats fidgeting.
Yeah.
That's powering
Yeah.
their civilization.
But the slingshot, does the slingshot have to be there?
it's
it doesn't.
just a publicity stunt. Like, go farther with United. And they're just flinging families out over the water.
But then the planes catch them. I don't know.
All right, now here's what we're gonna do.
They just hit
Delta.
the turbines.
12 people.
We're using
die
half.
every day.
We're using
I just
all
think
of
having
Danny's
a
idea,
slingshot
but we're
where people
having
don't
it.
get chopped up. at the
Yeah,
end
that's
of it.
probably better. Probably
I don't see it happening.
lost thought. Back to
Okay,
Jordan.
so here's what we do,
sorry.
which is what we were doing with we do it with a lot of Danny's ideas. We take the alien element of it as the penultimate bad guy.
Yeah.
We mix it in with Delta because they're an easy antagonist for a flight, and so Delta equals real bad
What's
guy.
Delta that I hated?
because
I'm sorry,
aliens.
United.
Oh, you said United. I just defaulted back to Delta without even thinking
Yeah, no,
about it.
it's Delta that I hate. I have some apologizing to do. United is mediocre. It's fine.
I don't really like United. I don't mind Delta.
Okay, it's Delta United. Them together
United.
are the real bad guys because they're aliens. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Mayor of Chicago has space slingshot in the end credits.
That's good enough for me.
As long as it's in there, I like the visual.
Has space.
Is it like a little Easter egg?
Hey, how can okay. Our heroes discovers he can fly. Our heroes being a hero. Mole Man, who's not Mole Man yet, is trying to stop him. I think Mole Man. We have a couple plot points to fill in here. Mole Man does stop him, just to start through FAA rules and regulations, and maybe puts him in jail for a while.
Yeah, he walks around handcuffed, so he can't get his arms up to fly.
And then
They snip the tips of his fingers off.
but our hero breaks out,
That doesn't work, guys. Just hurts.
and
Ow.
then he breaks out, and then Mole Man tries harder to stop him. And then what's a second way that he puts him in jail because of the law? Our hero breaks out, continues saving people and being an amazing superhero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mole Man is, I guess, it's just like
A
just,
scorched
It
earth
should be
media
more
campaign.
vindictive. Well,
yeah. Then he starts running advertisements.
Starts running.
well,
Just
the second one can be
venomous
well,
ads.
this is what we'll do for we'll make him actually get a little bit evil in the middle. We'll really arc him, you know?
Yeah.
And so he uses his family because we know our hero is a hero, so he puts his family in danger so that he can capture our hero with a net, right?
Oh,
That's the Space Needle scene. He just calls our hero or something. He's like, "Hey, my family's in danger. Can you save
They're
them?"
about to be slingshot off this.
They're about to be slingshotted. The mayor of Chicago's evil. He's got a slingshot. Get here quickly.
Yep.
I'm on board.
Space Needle. His family's about to fall off the Space Needle.
Ooh,
And-
Sears Tower.
Okay, Sears Tower.
It's got to geographically make
Chicago.
sense. Yeah, this takes place in Chicago or
And
Gotham.
the family's about to fall off of it. He has a net. He captures our hero.
yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
then and then he keeps our hero in the molehill
Yeah.
for a while.
He's captured.
And
Can't fly when you're locked underground.
That's what he
Keeps
keeps
bumping
saying.
into the ceiling.
yeah.
You look foolish.
It's like a
Look at me. I'm a mole man.
like a bird
He doesn't know
trapped
that yet.
inside
just
flapping.
And
in
then
the ceiling.
The canary in the mines.
Yeah.
and then I think maybe there is some bonding, right?
Yeah, they learn that they're not so different.
But our mole man is still going to be. Does he like
Oh.
trying to execute him or something?
So the teenage kid could have a face to face with the hero, and like realize, wow, you're actually just trying to help.
Well, the teenager likes the hero.
Yeah, but like this could be like an enforcement of that. You know, when he's locked in basically the mole man's home.
Right. And so what we need is what's an evil alien plot that Delta / United can be.
I already had it. They power their entire civilization based on people fidgeting in their uncomfortable seats.
And they're trying
That small amount of energy
they're trying to
spaced out
destroy the Earth.
They're trying to make it so that all people are strapped into chairs, Matrix style,
Yeah.
to produce energy for their civilization.
Okay. Matrix aliens. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. After they're in the molehill for a long time and they emerge from the hill to find that Delta / United / aliens have overtaken America, with their evil plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All chairs and public benches.
And so, but for the whole movie, our hero,
United Airlines seats.
the whole movie for
There's
our
one moment where the mayor flicks a button.
They just rotate down into the earth and come back up as airline seats. It's a soft open. It's just Chicago at first.
This is dumb.
Okay, I got it. And we're gonna buzz through this thing. Our hero, the whole time, the media has been covering all these altruistic acts, but much like how our hero learned how to fly, which is just being in an airplane so much, he knew how to shape his hands. He also realized that Delta and United were an alien organization.
Yep.
Who are going to take over the world. So the whole movie, unbeknownst to us, the reader / viewer, and the antagonist, Mole Man, a.k.a. Alvis Sport Quems, our hero hasn't been like doing flashy save the day stunts. He's been fighting Delta and United behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And the Mole Man just thinks he's showing off, basically.
Yeah.
And being unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
Captures him. Our hero's like, what have you done?
Because he's just been watching the media, which is controlled by Delta United alien conglomerates.
Yeah, they're a global media entity.
Pan-galactic
Yeah,
media entity.
because they have space planes
You got space planes, and they got TVs in space for the astronauts for propaganda.
to watch it, to watch all the
Space TVs.
I guess a spaceship is a space plane.
If an astronaut looked out the window of the International Space Station and saw a TV floating by that was just saying, like, fly Delta and United.
Be mad.
And then how do...
they got something there.
How does
I'd
our
be scared.
hero and Mole Man defeat the aliens?
They got to work together in this scenario.
All right.
So there's an impenetrable alien fortress. It can only be breached through under the ground. But our pilot is a flying man, and he has no idea how to work that.
Doesn't know how to go underground. Can't tunnel.
Mole Man. He's got the stuff. The right stuff.
It's...
The mole stuff.
Okay,
The
what
mold
it
stuff.
is...
His hands turn into drills.
There's an energy core.
It's going really fast.
Yeah.
And there's a sound, which is just his wrist breaking. Thousands of times a second.
Yeah, but
It's breaking.
but eventually it just
He's crying.
no, but
It's really hurts.
But after he gets like to a certain level of RPMs, his hands turn into metal drills.
In the...
he shakes off like the electrons to make the
Yeah.
water and the flesh of his hands into iron.
Yeah.
They're going so fast. He
They
creates
go
like
so
a
fast.
plasma state.
Yeah, no, it literally like chemistry happens and then metals move. They attract from the earth and attach to his hands.
Mole Man breaks open the top.
So...
Our hero can fly in.
Oh, I was going to say there's the energy core. I was
Ooh.
going to say...
Right, because the Star
They
Wars
emerge
style.
from-
There's got to be an energy core, yes.
They emerge from the molehill. Aliens have taken over America. On top of the White House, they've built their headquarters. And
it's
they're...
just a giant orb resting on top of the White House.
Not much has changed. But they have...
America feels pretty much the same.
They're taking...
It's just the president here is just groaning from the White House trying to support this giant orb.
Oh no.
They are
It's not a
storing
political commentary. It's just a funny image.
all... They're storing all of the energy from all of the people fidgeting in their seats in an energy core that's like at the top of their headquarters, right?
Mm.
So they need someone to fly to the energy core, but the only way to break in is underground.
Through the White House.
Through the bottom.
Through Corey's office.
Through Corey in the house. It's
No.
crossover.
Crossover.
Okay, bring him back.
Prequel.
Don't know what episode that was.
Wait. And then these tunnels are then the Underground Railroad.
What?
Oh no! Same
you go.
universe. We're getting J.J.
No,
Abrams.
I
with
don't
this.
even know what number podcast that is to reference it.
Just see.
It's the Beans one.
It's the bean. Oh, the Lagoon Fallacy.
Lagoon
number
Fallacy,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the Lagoon Fallacy is also an Avengers movie.
Okay, but what has to happen
Our
is
first throwback film.
you think Mole Man and our hero who are gonna save the day,
Yeah.
But then the Delta aliens, how do they break their spirit one last time in the end?
Do those like flight safety like performances or like speeches that they have before you get on the flight. Or maybe
no, they're about to get to the core. I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're about to get to the core, and then a fasten seatbelt sign turns on. And they have to sit down.
Yeah, that's
because
it's the law.
Better than what I was saying.
Yeah.
And Mole Man's like he's like a corporate stooge. He abides by the rules 100%. So he sits down.
Sees a beat.
But then that's when Mole Man becomes Mole Man.
Yeah,
and he stands back up.
Yeah, because like
But
our
he
hero's
can't
arguing
reach
with him.
He
He's
can't
like,
reach the core.
we have to both destroy it. I can't do this alone. You need to get out of the chair.
What do moles have about their body? Do they have like a super hard head?
Nose.
He needs to.
And they're
They
blind.
got like a pointy snoot. They got like
They're blind.
amazing. They're very blind.
To add, our half mole bastard son is blind in one eye.
Yeah. He wears an eye patch in the other eye to pretend to be fully blind.
I think what happens here is the opposite. Is our hero sits down.
Ooh.
Mole Man stands back up.
Ooh.
Oh, and then he moles his way. He just climbs the wall to the top.
It's also a special fasten seatbelts light.
It's got some magic.
It's got a little bit of like hypnotism going on.
Yeah.
You have to break free from it.
It's glowing.
Yeah.
Like it's
They get swirly eyes.
it's not one constant. It doesn't just turn on.
Okay, so they have a plan. They have a
Yeah.
plan, and the second half of their plan is that our hero, or who we think is our hero, needs to fly up and destroy the core. But when they get in there, a fasten seatbelt sign comes on with alien magic, they're forced to sit down and then presumably get killed by the aliens.
Killed.
This, at the end of this story, breaks who we think is our hero. And he's like, this is it. We're
I have
done.
to sit.
And Moment, like, what the fuck are you talking about? We literally can't save the world without you flying up. What are we going to do? And he's like, and he submits. And that's when Mole Man becomes Mole Man. He stands back up. And then, against the laws of physics that our hero abides by so much, he climbs.
He digs through air.
He digs up.
He finds a new way to fly.
Digs up.
He digs
up.
A
And that's
new
it.
way to fly.
He's like echoing and
Written in the
voice is
script.
echoing while he stares up at the orb. Dig up, Dad.
Producer looks at it, says, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Oh, damn. So his kid does have to die.
Oh yeah, this kid totally has to die.
Somewhere down the line. But I thought
You're
that
right. We can't make that movie without his kid dying.
Because he needs to whisper it.
He's
whisper, dig
dig up, Dad.
Yeah, he's like
Dig up.
he's hanging from the open pit in the molehill. He's looking up at his dad, and his dad's like, "I can't do it without you. I need you to dig in and try hard." And he's just, dig up, Dad.
Let's go, like Gandalf.
Fly, you fools.
Okay, so
Made me cry when I was a kid.
The kid dies.
It was a hard moment.
Shouts out Elijah Wood.
So the kid dies. In the end of the third act when he in the struggle to capture our hero,
Okay, yeah.
right? I think it's probably the aliens' fault somehow. I think maybe they send an imposter mole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that there's only one mole family though.
Okay,
That's the only one on the
we'll
planet.
just put kid dies in struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
He's trying to capture
run
the
through
guy.
this movie.
The kid dies by
Is
trying
that
to stop his
that's
dad.
we got it, right? That's that.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's go through it.
That's end film.
Let's pour one more cup of whiskey and then go through this movie that is either called Christmas with the Quems or Mole Man the First Avenger.
I really want it to be Mole Man the First Avenger. That's 100%.
I would
my
love
Why don't
it.
we just subtitle it Mole Man the First Avenger: Christmas with the Quems?
See, I think it would be the other way. I think it'd be Christmas with the Quems Mole Man the First Avenger.
And then we should just throw a 3 on the end of that, I think.
Tobe, could you?
Fully loaded.
Oh, is that? I think I'm right. Oh, all
There you
right.
go.
And I'm going.
All right. Our movie opens on a pilot and a mole family.
Somehow, yeah.
There's a pilot,
Is it like
a
one of those?
a good-looking single dude who's killing it
Mm-hmm.
in the flight game
As a flight pilot.
as a
Was just
as a
Never mind.
flight man.
I was gonna say he was a jet pilot. So he just walked off the set of Top Gun. We can even have that be in the opening sequence that like he's a consultant on Top Gun too.
That's the thing he says in his commercial flights with Delta. He's like, by the way, I was
A
a
consultant on Top Gun.
consultant on Top Gun. Yeah, I have Tom Cruise's fax number still, because you wouldn't have a cell phone number, would you?
All he's
if
got
you
is
were on Top Gun.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You'd have his fax.
You have his pager, and so he's killing it, right?
Yeah.
And we see him from a boy loving flight.
Throws paper airplanes at his dad.
Yeah.
Right in the eyes.
He
Those are my eyes, son, but you're destined for flight.
he jumps off.
Direct quote.
He jumps off a swing and lingers, and
Cuba
He
Gooding
hangs in the
Jr.
air for a solid 2 minutes.
Plays
He drops
his dad.
down.
he's a soccer goalie, and someone kicks a game-winning goal at him, and he times it too early, and he jumps too early, but then he flaps his arms and gets an extra boost and is able to block it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is rad.
Or, but it's
but it's
very
too
badly
quick, you
done
don't
visual
know.
effects, and he just
But
it's just like a
this is actually a novel, so that's all in descriptive language, what you're saying. The bad editing is in long form text about how it
So he's
looks.
flapping in the air. But not for like 30 seconds, for like
What
a
is
full
it?
minute. But like it looks weird visually,
What
as
is
if
it?
it was a movie.
What is it in Final Cut where you set
This
the little
is our
path for him?
guys. This is our first
Keyframing?
book.
Yeah, you keyframe him a very strange path.
It's not
just
bad
his body.
movies. It's bad stories.
You're right.
This is a novel.
This is our novel. This is our first novel.
Our first book.
Our first novel is called Mole Man: The First Adventure.
It's a good name. It's a really good name.
The sequel to Christmas with the Quems.
It's the sequel to Christmas with the Quems.
It's meant for a blind audience, but there's no braille versions because of the hero being a blind mole.
Or
man.
it's really abrasive braille that goes across their
It's
faces.
cheese grater braille. Really sharp.
No, it just takes away their kneecaps.
If you can read it, but as you read it, it makes you blind.
Yeah,
Oh,
you sign up for blindness.
geez.
Yeah, that got bad. That was a dark thing. Anyway, our pilot is he's killing it in life. He always wants to be a superhero. He has the talent somehow to fly.
But he doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it. And then we see him as an adult being a successful pilot for Delta/United.
Yeah.
And then we see a mole family, and it's a boring mole dad going to his boring mole job at the FAA. Right? It's his whole job is making sure pilots don't have any fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You swear a lot.
his teenager kind of hates him.
Swears all the time.
His teenager kind of hates him, and he really wants his kid to like him. He's a little bit hurt that his kid doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Does he have a hot mole wife?
And he has a smoking mole wife, who, by the way, full mole.
Full mole.
If we remember.
It's a
She's
mole.
Full mole.
Full mole. Did
We
we
had
show
Not human sized.
It's a mole.
It's a mole.
hot though?
Who, by the way, has an illegitimate son with a human.
With a human. Not even that half mole that he is.
Who are
Travis Pastrana.
Who's the one, our hero? I mean, who Mole Man wants that son's affection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's very open of him.
Yeah, he's already forgiven his wife for that, and like he just loves this kid.
She was
Yeah.
at a
And
Nitro circus,
so
whatever it was.
he has a boring ass
She met
job.
Travis Pastrana, had sex with him, and had his
Oh.
illegitimate
And maybe
child.
Travis
I think
Pastrana's
he's
illegitimate
in.
child.
I think
Yep.
he's in the
It's
tower.
canon.
I think he's in the tower at a airport, just barely off the ground. Can't get much higher than that, or else he'll freak out. When our hero
He's like a foot up
discovers
in the stairwell with
Yeah.
his computer.
discovers he has flight, and I think the easiest way is just that our hero falls from a plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy Castaway style plane crash.
I think maybe our hero goes skydive. I think our hero goes. No, he tells his co-pilot, "You drive," and our hero jumps out. You think he's dead, and the co-pilot looks out the window, and our hero is flying.
Yeah, like alongside.
Next to him, just based on the shape of his hand.
What if he's the sole pilot on this airplane, no co-pilot because his budget cuts. They're at a layover
For the book.
They're at a layover.
It's a book about this movie.
No, not budget cuts for the making of this, just from the airlines. There's a layover.
Oh.
There's a layover in Chicago.
that makes
He's going to the bathroom, spends a little bit too long on his phone looking at theory on how airplane works.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs outside and realizes he accidentally bumped the autopilot button and it's taking off, filled with passengers.
God, this guy's a stud.
So he's like, I gotta
I know what he's about to do.
I gotta save these people.
I want to be a
And
superhero.
he just stares at the airplane and he looks down at his hands, airplane hands, airplane hands. This is descriptive in the book. And he flies. He just spreads his arms out, gets them to the right angle, rockets after
Originally,
it.
we talked about him having an arc of discovering flight. I like that he finds it in one moment
Where he's just like, I
and
gotta see.
blasts after the
Maybe
plane.
he's been dabbling with it
He
for a
gets
little
his
while,
want immediately.
but it's not like really working.
Yeah.
But like he just gets it because he
Yeah.
has to save his passengers.
And then the mole man is in the tower and just sees him rocket out of the gate towards the plane
Right.
and save the day for something that he caused, but saves the day.
Yeah.
And says fuck shit. Because he swears a lot.
He does.
That's the mole man. Oh, the mole man. Says,
Yeah, the moment says dick fuck. Like,
dick fuck. That man is flying after that airplane.
That's his
Said
catchphrase.
the mole man.
That's his catchphrase.
Dick
is
fuck.
Dick fuck.
that man is flying after the airplane.
Okay, so our hero becomes a hero, and the papers really cover it, and then he starts just kind of showing off a little bit, and he'll be doing his
We'll do a verbal montage.
yeah,
Written prose.
where he's just doing his job, being a hot shot pilot, but then he'll be like, watch this, and jump out of the plane and fly around it, and then come back into the plane and stuff like that, and it's freaking our mole man out. And then our hero, who's always wanted to be a superhero, seemingly starts to take some vigilante justice upon his shoulders.
Yeah.
And the media starts reporting on him, breaking I guess the details are hazy, but he's like breaking into big corporate structures and blowing holes out the sides as he flies away and starts to get a lot of press.
Yeah.
And our mole
Took
man's
down one of Delta's test planes.
yeah.
Starting, yeah. Oh, because so then it's
Because it's a slave plane.
Oh,
yeah.
They think
Well-
no. What happens is it's a lot of good stories about him, and then one where he's like, I think what's the superhero's fucking name? Flight Boy.
Birdman.
It's Birdman.
This movie's called Birdman.
Birdman 2, Christmas with the Quems, Mole Man the first
Birdman 2.
The novel.
novel.
Mole Man. Birdman 2. Mole Man the First Avenger.
If you saw that title on the shelves,
This seems like a departure
you'd buy it immediately.
from
I would.
Birdman
What is
2,
this?
Christmas with the Quems, Mole Man the First Avenger, a novel.
when we sometimes make them for just us.
You know how sometimes we can never think of a name for the story that we're doing?
Now we have 4.
I'm going to make
And it's a book.
the title of this.
I thought of half of the names for the title when it was still a movie too.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a book now. That's how good ideas are born.
Birdman is seemingly breaking into these big corporations and like secret sites, and then one day he takes out a Delta plane and he
What
was
the fuck
drunk
is-
flying.
Yeah,
It was like-
he has to be stopped. There's
The
no
man is
regulation.
society.
Drunk. And then
I'm the Mole Man.
Mole Man is like, is high up in the FAA, and he's like, he makes it so he's the head of the task force to
So
cancel Birdman.
at this point, are we getting more of Mole Man's perspective? Like you sort of thought that it was all about Birdman, but now
It's a slow transition.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Birdman
but
kind of
it's
gets
like-
an act
yeah, he
of the
Yeah.
book.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's Mole Man
It's a good amount of chapters.
Because like at the same time, like this is Birdman.
We do a really interesting not omniscient, but narrator shift where we change, you know, every we're changing each chapter.
Ray Liotta,
Old man wakes
Birdman,
up, eats some dirt.
And then it's
there's a chapter.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus plays the mole man
in the book.
And she reads all of his act.
Oh, in the audio, they're the readers in the audio.
Too confusing. Okay, but so it's a subtle transition from Birdman's life, and then Mole Man observes him fucking with all of these plane things, and him as an employee of the FAA says, "Hey, you're overstepping your boundaries."
So that's that moment where he's Birdman's killing it. You know, he's doing secretive superhero shit that people think is cool. He's the first person to ever fly. At first public,
but then he like unbeknownst to the viewer / reader, he's trying to take out Delta United because he's catching on.
Yes, we don't know that till the very end.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. Okay, just want to make sure that was we were keeping that.
We're foreshadowing that throughout
with the whole fucking.
But then there's
like,
a big story where he destroys a Delta plane, and that's when we change to our Mole Man's family perspective, right? And his kid and his teenager's like, So he's like, no, he's a cool dude. That's probably just like...
Yeah, he's probably doing something... Like, he's only ever helped people. I don't think he'd just do that.
Has just posters of him.
And Elvis Sport Quems is like, that's dangerous. It's very dangerous. People shouldn't be flying. Moles shouldn't be flying.
Moles were meant for ground people.
We're especially should not be flying.
You're not going to ever fly.
You'll never fly.
You're not allowed to fly.
You'll never fly. And our
kid tries to fly.
Yeah, they're all pretty blind, though. And
remember, he's half blind, but wears an eye patch when he's in the house.
And so
completely blind.
And he just says, "Fuck you, Dad."
Yeah, and
but
so
he can't see it
because he's blind.
Elvis Sport Quems goes out, creates a committee.
He's just been writing "Fuck you, Dad" all over their house because everyone else in the house is blind.
Yeah. Just says it all over the place.
And
it's in like glow stick innards or whatever that chemical is.
Glow stick innards. I like that. Anyway,
just
whip it.
Elvis Sport Quems, from his high-powered position at the FAA, starts a committee that successfully
grounds Birdman.
Grounds Birdman. That's the headline.
Birdman ground.
Birdman grounded.
Birdman ground.
Birdman grounded.
Ground turkey ? FAA grounds Birdman.
Ground beef.
Who wrote this? And then there's just a whole chapter where an editor chews out one of his other editors for printing that.
Yeah. That's in the novel, though. That's a whole chapter.
But my grandfather started this paper.
That chapter starts where it's literally the history of that newspaper.
To include in the story is that the headline fucking sucked.
Full chapter about the retribution for a terrible headline.
No, but that chapter starts where it's just about like the writer, like literally becoming a writer for the newspaper.
You get a picture of his life,
and then it's at the
from
very
Birdman
end.
to Elvis Sport Quems to this editor going, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell are you? How dare you?" And
hits him with a
successfully.
You're pulling money out of my pocket and you're pulling food out of my children's mouths with this bullshit.
Birdman
hits him with a nickel sock.
Or is it ground turkey?
Ground turkey. FAA grounds Birdman.
Yeah.
And so then Birdman goes to jail for reckless endangerment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he flies the fuck out of there.
Because it's just cells with no roof.
Yeah.
And then
you didn't think about it.
And then Mole Man hatches a plan.
A terrarium.
Mole Man hatches a plan and he tells his family, "Look, I got a great vacation plan for us." And they're like, "That's awesome. We could use vacation. We're moles. It's very tiring to be a mole." And he's like, Elvis Sport Quems is like, "We're going on a family vacation to the Sears Tower."
I heard they have this great new attraction.
And his family is like, "That's uncharacteristic because that's really high up in the sky and we're all moles and that's very scary."
Yeah.
And he's like, it's good to include things that are surprising in characters. It makes them more real, he says to them in the book. And then also we need to conquer our fears and, grow. It's important to grow. We're going to the Sears Tower.
Gotta go. So then
and the kid is like a little bit like, "Okay, Dad."
In the book, in the unabridged book, it's hundreds of pages about their journey across America.
Because they go underground.
Yeah, they travel through. Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a Jack Kerouac manuscript element to it where they like cut out
There's a stream of consciousness on the road. It's called Under the Road.
Under the Road.
It's a whole book that you pull out of the middle of this book.
Yeah, it's a new book inside.
You reach into the book under the ground, pull out the book called Under the Ground.
It's a smaller book inside it. And they have a tough time.
It's all Jack Kerouac
Under
style,
the Road.
Yeah.
Under the Road.
It's about a mole family going to Sears Tower.
A lot of time in the Rockies.
Stop and listening to jazz.
The Great Plains are longer than they thought. We make it.
They get to Sears Tower, and
Gotta move on.
Mole Man is
Has a walkie-talkie that's connected to the Delta
because
Airline
the
United.
FAA is kind of, we'll say a high-powered organization, and at this point, Birdman breaks out of jail, but then continues having hero exploits
Yeah,
and being in the media.
Yeah, he saves people. He starts doing more with Delta and United.
Yeah.
yeah, but he was also like, does he go to Hollywood and just become like a big douche?
Well, he's very successful, very cool dude, which is driving our Mole Man's kid to like him, and for our Mole Man to be super jealous of him.
Okay.
Right? And so he's just being a cool fucking superhero, just
Works
a
for
stud,
me.
you know.
I like it.
Like he's always wanted. And Mole family goes to the Sears Tower, and Elvis Sport Quem's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom for a sec. You guys look out at the city. And then he calls the police and says, help, my family is about to fall off the Sears Tower. Right?
Yes,
And
sort of. Let's go with that though. Probably best we don't include
The slingshot. The
oh,
massive
that's
slingshot.
well. So that's in the end credits. I have it right here. It's the last thing.
Okay.
After he digs up.
Just as long as we have it.
Oh, we
as
got
long
it.
as it's in there.
We got it.
Sears Tower. Kid dies.
That he doesn't die yet.
Are you sure?
No,
that
that's
we
in
don't
the
want him to die
climax.
right there?
That's the climax because he says, "What does he say again?"
Mole
Yeah,
Man,
he
dig
gets
up.
held.
Dig
Mole
up.
Man,
yeah.
what happens is Mole Man calls the police, says my family's about to fall off Sears Tower, knowing that Birdman is going to hear about it and come save the day. As Birdman flies up to the top of Sears Tower and is like, what? There's no one in danger here. Alva Sport Quems throws a net on him, captures him.
Made of dirt.
He throws a dirt net.
No, not explained in the book or script. Producers.
It just says you get 2 words. You get dirt net, and you have to figure that out.
Throws a
You have to be like, it's not net made of dirt or net fashioned from clumped dirt.
throws a dirt net.
Dirt net throws a dirt net.
Full caps.
But it's full caps, italicized, underlined.
You have to like Google it too. You're like, is that a
Fuck,
thing?
does
Like,
that exist?
what's a dirt net?
In quotes, dirt net. What?
What is
No.
that?
Don't get it.
And anyway, he captures him.
takes him underground.
Cut to, in the book, cut to, chapter ends, next chapter opens.
The book automatically turns to a page for you.
Yeah, it's at that. You're at that point in the book.
He throws, it says, throws dirt
You've
net.
already pulled out the secondary book.
It's throws dirt net on Birdman. End chapter, next chapter. Birdman wakes up in a molehill, right? In chains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably he wakes up to probably this mole man's teenage son being like, what have you done? He's a superhero.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Yeah, they're arguing in front of him, and
Yeah.
he's like sedated,
And then
or he's just waking up.
then we have time goes on, and Alva Sport comes is like, this guy's dangerous. I'm doing good. You're my kid. Shut up. And then we get a little bit of Birdman bonding with the kid.
Time goes on. There's a newspaper headline that says "Where Birdman,"
Yeah.
and then right below it says "Reporters Wanted."
Another chapter of the other
But it's like-
editor just being like, I fucking hate you.
Like I gave you another chance. You cried on your knees in front of me, and I gave you another chance. Where Birdman?
You literally have a wife. She's upset. I've called her in. She's also gonna lecture you.
He goes through like 8 levels of proofing. How did we not catch this?
It's like, I honestly expect, like, you should probably regulate him a little more. I get it, okay?
And and then Birdman after. Oh, you know what happens is the teenager helps him escape.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you,
Teenager's
Elvis.
like, my dad's
Portquems."
wrong.
Yeah, he's not even my dad.
He's not my real dad. Look at me. He's like, yeah, I was wondering. So you're just a guy.
And Birdman's like, how many is this?
He has a mole
And the
nose.
teenage mole's like, oh.
5?
It's like, that's close enough. You can see, kind of.
You get
Half. Yeah.
You can half see.
Clearly you're... Anyway. He lets Birdman go.
Yeah.
And then dies in the struggle.
Yeah. Mole Man is trying to stop Birdman from leaving.
And grabs the chain.
Yeah.
And it's wrapped around the...
But he can't see because he's a mole. Birdman can't see. He's trying to fly away. Choked in the middle.
Like,
That is such a dark...
Jesus Christ. And it's got to be really descriptive too. It's a novel.
that's a book.
As the air is forced from his neck.
Chest, out neck, out
A
mouth.
grinding of chains.
Yeah, you hear his spine start to dissolve. Anyway,
Bones.
they hate each other so much that the mole
bones.
man who
Says
is
our-
blind
A
is
rat in
anchoring
the
a
corner
chain
says the
that
bones.
Birdman used to be
The
chained
bones.
into.
It's an Italian rat. Whispering.
Oh, and just before
Our
he's about to choke to death, and our teenager has to say, "Dad, just dig up." Then he dies.
Oh no.
Oh,
his
and,
last
and
gasp.
that's when he realizes that his kid is being strangled.
Yeah, but it's too late.
So just to
That's like
clarify,
literally
what happens
the
is our
beginning of
teenager
Ray.
Bond.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Just to recap what
Oh
happens.
my god.
Birdman is captured by Alvis Portquems and chained up in the molehill. Alvis Portquems' teenage son loves Birdman, bonds with him over time, and then decides to help him escape. Alvis Portquems, a.k.a. the Mole Man, comes in on that escape attempt, and so Birdman is he's been detached from the molehill, but he still has a chain on his leg. As he tries to fly away, Mole Man grabs the end of the chain on his leg, which then becomes wrapped around his teenage son's neck.
Yep.
Mole Man / Alvis Portquems can't see that because he's a mole,
Yeah.
mostly mole,
Can't see.
Mostly.
and thus can't see, and very well at all. And
Not a well lit cave either.
no, it's a molehill. It's dark as hell. And Birdman, meanwhile, is just
Footnote.
looking up, trying to get
He's
out.
just trying to break the chain and get free.
Teenager strangled to death in the struggle.
With the strength of 2 eventual superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not heroes. It's
And this
way
is
more complicated
all
than this.
their
laid
origin
out
story.
in beautiful long form prose. They
Can we switch to like a sonnet
yeah.
for this?
This becomes
That's
poetry
the
at the end
baby.
here,
Yeah.
especially the part where the mayor of Chicago has this space slingshot, and then
Let's set it up for the sequel.
and then
what we
I
do
think
best.
they both see this moment, and this is like an insane low point where this ridiculous fun book movie ends up in it with a dead teenager towards the end of it, and they're like, okay, what have we done wrong here? And Mole Man is obviously inconsolable, and then Birdman's like, look, all the stuff that you thought about me, that like all this cool shit I was doing, I was trying to stop. Listen, Delta and United are one thing, and also they're aliens, and they have a plot to use the kinetic energy of passengers
Shuffling
fidgeting
in their chairs
Yeah.
uncomfortably and not getting much sleep.
into
Powering a power cell.
Powering their entire
Space
Civilization.
community. Yeah, powering
Right.
their entire civilization.
and they probably fight and beat each other up, and then Birdman's like, let's leave the molehill, I'll show you. they leave the molehill.
First time Mole Man really has ever wanted to.
And that this Mole Man opened his
the
eyes.
surface.
Yeah, and
or does he just have to feel it?
or I think he's just dead inside. He just strangled his own kid, you know. And and Delta / United / all of the alien and Delta / United / the aliens have taken over all of America and built a headquarters on the White House with a energy core that is
enormous spherical headquarters.
Yeah, and
resting on the White House.
And Mole Man and Mole Man's to his wife is super misogynistically, I guess, like, I need you to take care of the kids. I gotta go with Birdman to try and do something about this to avenge my son who said you have to dig up.
She says this time it's okay.
And she's like, okay, fine. And then we're gonna skip right past this part. And then they go to the newspaper.
Yep.
And they're like, the headquarters is above the White House. And there's an energy core.
There's nobody in the office but the head editor, and he's just crying.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is
like, what have I done? Firing.
Yeah.
I fired everybody but you.
They all wrote the worst headlines.
Why'd I keep you?
And he shows them a photo of the headquarters above the White House. And Birdman's like, I don't know how to get in there. If I could get in there, I could fly to that energy core, but there's no way in.
Idea hatched. Cooperation. Teamwork.
Mole Man, real good at digging.
Decides that he's going to dig underneath.
I can dig.
Tunnels,
and he has to get
tunnels.
talked
I went to the White
into-
House on a school trip one time. There are tunnels under there.
This is the VR
Underground
portion.
railroad.
Yes. He tunnels under, and then
And Mole Man's like, okay, for my son.
I'm going to do this for my son. And then it's that moment where he's going straight down, and then he starts to turn, and then it's a little flash to the sun. And he says, dig up, Dad. You have to dig up. Then he turns his course, goes up.
No, that's when he digs through air.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I tried to make that as dramatic as possible.
Wrong.
Darn.
This story follows a formula and is logical.
Clearly
And
it's not
what you just said
crazy.
was not. He digs Birdman into the energy core, into the main headquarters.
He digs like a Star Wars-esque route that gets you to the
I think
core.
maybe there is a moment though where like he's underneath, they're like miles underneath the ground and they're being crushed by the weight of the entire world. And Birdman's like, dude, we're gonna die. And then Alvis Quem's like, I am Mole Man, and then just burrows them.
And then
into
his hands turn into little drills.
Well, no, he's breaking his wrists. Remember,
Repeatedly. They're just
Yeah.
spinning, regrowing
and then turn
in an instant once he ratchets
So
back
he's
into
just
place.
screaming.
Yeah, he's screaming. Tears.
Ow.
Tears and screaming.
Ow.
Ah!
Ow.
They break through into the alien headquarters. Birdman goes to fly up to destroy the energy core, and then bing, fasten seatbelt signs and / weird alien magic. They look. There's a very alien who looks like Danny.
He looks like Danny?
No.
Yeah, no.
Danny, what does he look like?
He looks like Levi's pants.
On.
No, that's good. Speaks through the fly. Walks on the pant legs. I love it.
No.
Do we want to go with it?
No.
You got 3 seconds to think of something better.
All right. Name a letter.
T.
Tortoise.
It's a tortoise wearing Levi's pants. Is that better?
Tortoise aliens, full Levi's gear.
Tortoise aliens. Sponsored by Levi's.
Okay, they're tortoises.
They're tortoises. Their shells are made of denim.
Yeah, they're
Wet, fleshy denim.
Denim
what's
shells.
it called? What kind of suit is it? A cowboy suit?
Canadian
tuxedo.
Canadian tuxedo? I say cowboy suit. That might be a kind of thing. And
Later.
cowboy suit.
We'll
Not a
revisit
bad
that.
name for a movie. And
It's not a movie.
The alien tortoise is not a bad name for a book movie. And the tortoises are mad that people can
It's 2 books and a song
can walk
right now.
so fast, so they
Or
have
fly or be moles.
Yeah,
Just everything.
anything other than a turtle. Honestly, they're pretty pissed about it, and so they decide to take over the human race. Anyway, the aliens look like turtles with jean shells, and Birdman goes to fly up to destroy the energy core, and they put the fasten seatbelt sign on. Alien magic. Oh, what? It looks like a tortoise. No big deal. That's described in the book. And they Birdman is defeated, flies and sits back down. He's like, I can't do it. And Mole Man's like, no, we got to save the world. We're so close. And Birdman's like, no, it's alien magic. That's always been my weakness.
I don't really think I can right this time.
It's that my Achilles heel is alien magic, and then our hero is like, oh my god, all of humanity is doomed. I have to do this
myself. I can't reach the core.
He doesn't know what to do, and then whispered in his ear,
Dad, dig up.
Message from son.
And
he digs through the fucking air.
Still breaking his wrist.
Still breaking his wrist. He drills through the air and shrieking. Yeah. Goes straight into the core. It implodes. It destroys all of the infrastructure that United /
And that actually
Delta
makes him Mole Man, because did you see
tortoise monsters?
Captain Marvel?
No.
Did you see Captain Marvel?
No.
There's an explosion. Okay, there's a energy source, and it explodes, and she absorbs the energy, and then is a superhero. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
Yep.
So he goes to the center of the explosion. He is now a super.
He can already dig through air, though.
No, that was when he realized his full
potential. But now he can dig through time.
Oh, dude. Yes, dude.
That is this. It's gonna be Birdman 2 Christmas with the Quems : Mole Man the First Avenger, and novel the sequel is the one about him digging through time, and he saves the day. His son is his half son / his half son is dead.
But it's minor, Minor, and it's about him
reconciling. So it's a prequel.
No, it's him digging through time to reconcile his relationship with his son.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's great.
So it explodes. You think that he's dead. You maybe in the post-credit sequence you see.
No, that's already Rahm Emanuel whipping families across the lake.
I think
semi-unspoken, but it's got like a Delta sponsorship.
Okay, at the end,
logo.
The first half of the resolution is Birdman. I was getting to it, and maybe that's like the teaser at the end.
Yeah,
you think they're gonna tease the next. The book.
The villain is Rahm Emanuel.
Do you think they're gonna tease the next movie book, and then it's just a chapter about Rahm Emanuel, who we established is actually the mayor of Chicago?
I think he was. I think that there was just a mayoral race.
I think maybe he doesn't in this world. He doesn't have like an office. It's just him doing that.
I think what it is like it is foreshadowing, and he's like the next villain.
Yeah.
And the whole story ends, and then we have an epilogue. Was that the right use of that in this situation?
Yeah, that works.
We have an epilogue where he's just gleefully launching people into space.
I feel like that you just called that's the Easter egg.
Either way, and either way, that's the last thing we see.
Okay.
In our minds,
I'm fine
because
with it.
we're reading it.
Because we're reading it.
And
this is a book.
And destroys the energy core. Cut to black, probably. Come back from our cut to black in the book, and America is
saved.
It's back to normal.
Birdman's talking to Mole Man. He's like, "Listen, we make a great team. I want you to help me continue saving the planet." And he's like, I have something I gotta do first.
I think it's Birdman bringing like
I have
gifts.
no idea what it was.
I think it's like
the time travel sequel.
Okay.
I think it's like Birdman bringing gifts to Mole Man's family as if Mole Man is dead. Kind of come to take care of the family.
Oh, and then he drills his way up.
And then
okay. We do that thing where they're at a graveyard, and it's Birdman and Mole Man's family, and they're standing over a grave, and you can't see the name. Because somebody puts flowers in front of it. In the book, they don't read you the name.
Right.
They're just describing this.
Right.
And Birdman's like, does anybody want to say anything? And then Mole Man walks up. He's like, sorry I'm late. It's the son's grave.
See,
It's
I
not
picked-
Mole Man's grave.
I combined. That's great.
I
I,
really like
combined him coming. I thought he was going to come
Coming
up
out of
through
the
the
grave.
ground
Yeah,
with
that's
his
what I
dead son.
I will. And then he says, "I have some unfinished business to do." Digs through time,
Yeah.
and I guess shows his
Holding
son
the corpse.
shows
This is what you become.
if you don't stay in school.
Drops it
What are we
in that
talking
time
about?
zone. Goes back.
Where have we gone?
I love it. That's the end of the, that's the end of the book. Yep.
This is the teaser to the sequel, Mole Man 2, Time Miner.
Birdman 2.
Sorry, Birdman.
The title is about the wrong protagonist.
Jordan, Birdman 2, Time Miner. Miner spelled Minor. And it's about him reconciling his relationship with his dead son because he can mine through time.
Okay, I'm all in for that.
Reconciling his
Our
relationship,
resolution, they're
he's
at
just bringing
a
him his
grave.
corpse.
We're at a grave. We think it's Mole Man's
I
grave.
don't know why you're
It's
trying to-
actually
We got it.
his dead son. Mole Man isn't actually dead. They're both best friends. They're both superheroes. Mole Man has extra powers. His son's still dead. And we have post credits with
Rahm Emanuel
launching
former
people
mayor of
into space. Is he the new villain? Oh wait, Mole Man can travel through time.
Done.
That's the movie. Jordan, read the full title for us.
Birdman 2, Christmas with the Quems, Mole Man, the First Avenger, a
novel.
I hope that's in the character limit for the title of a
It's
podcast.
a masterpiece.
Was this our first 2-hour podcast?
No, we're just 10 over right now. Let's combine some movies.
That is
and
incredible,
get out.
right?
Let's combine some movies and get out.
Okay.
Clearly we've all been thinking about The Incredibles. So, The Incredibles.
Yep.
Alien versus Predator.
Ooh.
I don't
So
love
the
it.
Incredibles fight Alien and Predator?
Yeah.
Alien Predator v.
So it's
Incredibles.
Incredibles versus
I like that.
Alien
I like
versus
that.
That's
Predator.
kind of fun.
I
I'd
like
watch
that.
that movie.
It'd be
Yeah.
really hard to do.
Airbud meets Cujo. Airbud wins the game, mauls everybody.
Oh my god.
What's Cujo?
Cujo is a Stephen King novel
Oh.
about a dog that's a demon dog killing people.
Damn.
Damn.
I wish I knew that because I would have thought that was really funny. But
Oh. Ouch.
in the immediate, I meant like I would have had a visceral laugh reaction.
Precious meets Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ooh.
Precious fights ninjas.
Love it.
And good pod, everybody. Birdman 2, Christmas with the Quems, Mole Man, the First Avenger, and novel.
Thanks
Sometimes
for
that
reading.
happens.